Can you believe this is not a science fiction movie? It's a real warning from NASA scientists. February 10, 2009. The moment two satellites collide in space. Generated over 2,000 fragments. Each piece travels at 20 times the speed of a bullet. Scientists have come up with a name for this disaster: Kessler syndrome. That means it's getting smashed into more pieces. Eventually, a space minefield will form, lock humanity to Earth forever. Sounds like a movie, right? But in November 2021, the Chinese space station is threatened by debris. Emergency shelter twice. This moment, 34,000 in Earth orbit. About 10 centimeters of space junk, and 1 million little piece, flying wildly above your head. The GPS you use, the email you swiped, the weather forecast you see, all by satellites surrounded by debris. Let's talk today. This crisis could change the fate of humanity. So, where did all this space junk come from? The answer may surprise you. 1957. Humans launched the first man-made satellite. From that moment on, we started throwing garbage into space. Every rocket launch will leave the fuel tank fairing. There are also various screws and nuts that are even more outrageous. Astronaut's kit, gloves, even cameras can accidentally float into space. In 2008, an astronaut was on a spacewalk. Accidentally let the kit float away. $100,000 worth of kits. It became space junk. But this is not the most exaggerated. 1965, American astronaut Edward White, during the first human spacewalk, lost a glove. This glove has been in orbit for a month. Finally burned up in the atmosphere. Can you imagine? A glove almost broke the satellite. And then there was 1986. The Eliana rocket of the European Space Agency occurs during launch. The explosion instantly produced more than 500 fragments. This debris is scattered in different orbits. Some are still flying today. And such a rocket explosion accident, it has happened more than once in the history of spaceflight, dropping hundreds into space every time. Thousands of pieces of junk. And it got worse. Some satellites will explode on their own. In 2015, a defense weather satellite of the United States Air Force suddenly disintegrates in orbit, generated 43 traceable fragments. Scientists analyze possibly an explosion caused by a fuel leak and similar events. It happens on average a few times a year. There was no warning. The satellite will blow up if it says fragments it will blow up. So how dangerous are these pieces? Let's settle the bill. A 10-centimeter piece, hitting the satellite at 7.8 kilometers per second, generated energy equivalent to 7 kilograms of TNT explosive. And a 1 centimeter piece, impact energy. It's like a car crashing into a wall at 100 kilometers per hour. And here's what's even scarier. 1 millimeter of debris can penetrate a spacesuit. Directly killed the astronaut. In 2016, a window on the International Space Station by a piece of debris less than 1 millimeter. It made a hole. You heard right. You can smash holes in bulletproof glass in less than 1 millimeter. If it were bigger, the consequences are unimaginable. And a similar impact. The International Space Station is visited several times a year. Astronauts live and work in this environment. I'm scared to think about it. The European Space Agency, in a simulation experiment, an aluminum ball with a diameter of 1.2 centimeters, 6.8 kilometers per second, hit an 18-centimeter thick aluminum plate. As a result, the aluminum plate was directly pierced, less than the true speed of space debris. If the fragments were bigger, go faster. The satellite has no protection at all. Just get destroyed. So how are countries responding? The first is more. NASA has a dedicated department called the Orbital Debris Program Office. Their job is to track space junk. Alert satellites. Every time any debris comes close to the satellite, about to start the thrusters, change track to avoid. The International Space Station averages 2 to 3 visions most per year. Most of the time, I have to hide a dozen times a year. September 2020. The International Space Station is a fragment of unknown origin. Urgent orbital assembly. The debris was only 1.39 kilometers away from the space station at that time. According to space standards, we missed it. The astronauts advanced into the Soyuz spacecraft, ready to evacuate at any time. This terrifying moment, it's become routine for them. But hiding is not a long-term solution. 2024, the European Space Agency has launched a crazy plan called Core Space Service. They're going to launch a dedicated cleanup satellite, grab space junk with a robotic arm. Then they fell into the atmosphere and burned up together. This is the first time in human history. Initiative to clean up space junk. Expected to be implemented in 2026. What's even more surprising is that international space is occupied to defend against these debris shells. One of the uses a multi-layered structure called the Whipple shield. This shield has multiple layers of aluminum and bulletproof material. Small pieces will be broken first when they are loaded. Then the energy is absorbed by the multi-layer structure. That only protects against debris under 1 centimeter. No matter how big it is, you can't help it. Commercial space companies like SpaceX satellites are now launched with a self-destruct system. After the satellite is scrapped, it must either fall into the atmosphere and burn up within 5 years, or fly to a graveyard orbit far from Earth. This is 2019. New rules established by international space agencies. The goal is to reduce the generation of space junk. China is also taking action. In 2022, China successfully launched the Incident-21 satellite, a scrap beta navigation test satellite, towed from the far track to the cemetery track. This is the first time China has successfully conducted space junk initiative, proving that we are capable of dealing with space junk. What's even more shocking is, scientists have calculated if humanity doesn't take action, the amount of debris in Earth's orbit by 2055. It will triple. Until then, Kessler syndrome may actually happen. A piece of debris hits the satellite, generate more debris. These fragments then hit other satellites, create a chain reaction. Eventually, the entire orbit becomes a debris belt. At that time, humans will lose all communication satellites, navigation satellite, meteorological satellite. Your phone has no signal. The plane can't take off. I can't see the weather forecast. And here's what's even worse. We can't launch new satellites anymore, because they will be destroyed as soon as they go up. The space age of humanity may come to an end. So space junk is not a problem for the future. It's the crisis that's happening right now. Every rocket launch, every defunct satellite, are making this problem worse. We have to act. Develop international regulations limiting the generation of space junk. Also speed up cleaning. Because space is the space of all mankind. It's not a garbage dump in any country. If we don't solve this problem today, our descendants may indeed trapped on Earth forever, looking up at the stars. I can't get up there anymore. This is not science fiction. This is a real concern for scientists.